Hey guys, welcome to Making Sawdust. I'm Kevin. Thanks for joining me. Today we are going to replace the regulator on this Husky air compressor. This is going to be an easy fix. I'm going to show you how I diagnosed my problem, where I got my replacement regulator, and even if you don't have this specific model, this is actually going to be very helpful for you, so stick around. One of my favorite things to do is save money. A lot of us are on a budget. We can't afford brand new tools or all the fancy stuff, so what I like to do is I like to go to the pawn shop and scope it out every couple weeks or so and see what kind of good deals I can get. This particular deal right here, I paid $55 for this air compressor. It's about 15 years old, really nice condition. I have a good rapport with the lady at the pawn shop. We only have one here in town, really. And I says, does it work? And she says, yeah, no problem. So let me tell you, it does work. I got home, turned it on, it pumped up, no problem. I plugged in my hose, don't have any air. I'm like, dumbfounded. Yeah, right. The regulator, right? The regulator knob was turned all the way back. So I proceeded to turn the regulator knob to increase the pressure to the hose, and I noticed it leaking. It leaked kind of on a variable rate. Every time I turn it, the leak would get increase and then decrease and increase and decrease until I cranked it all the way down to maximum pressure, and it just leaked a little bit. So I figured, well, let's try to repair that. Pulled the cover off, disassembled the regulator, and there's an O-ring in there and a couple springs. After many attempts and a lot of failed attempts and different results each time, I found out the regulator is just bad. I made it worse a couple times. I made it a little bit better, but you can't have a leak in air compressor. So I went to Master Tool Repair online, and I ended up typing in my model number, got right to the parts page, and they sell just about everything for this model air compressor. Now, their website is actually categorized by brand. There's, you name it, type of brands out there. They have rebuild kits, they have videos, small parts, large parts, regulators, nozzles, valves, wheels, handles. They have technical diagrams, they have technical printouts. They have a really good forum that you can ask questions and get your answer on how to fix my air compressor. So I actually suggest going to Master Tool Repair. Not sponsored at all, but I got a brand new regulator for this model for 19 bucks. Well, folks, that was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to unscrew in my life. They had used some really hard I don't know, probably some thread sealing compound or something like that. It's not a pipe thread. It's not, so it's not tapered. The tighter you get it, doesn't seal it up. It is a straight thread. It was a pain. You can see that I just almost mangled the regulator. So I turned off the camera. I really had to fight it. So I'm going to get this cleaned out, and then we're going to take the gauges off, install them on the new regulator, install some thread tape, and screw this back in and see if it works. So there you have it, folks. Replaced a regulator on an air compressor. It may seem like a pretty simple process. I actually fought the regulator. Darn near destroyed the old regulator getting it out of there. I know I'm getting older and probably not as strong as I used to be, but man, it was locked right on there. Maybe one of the hardest things I've ever had to unscrew in my life. Put new thread tape on the gauges and the regulator and the pressure switch line. I did have to replace the gauge with one that I had here in the shop because my pair of channel locks slipped and I bent the other gauge. I'll try and see if I can get a replacement gauge. This one will work just fine. I remind you to go to Master Tool Repair online if you need compressor parts, rebuild kits, regulators, gauges, all kinds of other stuff like that. So thank you for joining me here at Making Sawdust. Make sure you click that subscribe button, give me a like, and leave me a comment, and let me know if this was helpful, and watch these videos next. As always, get out of your shop, make some sawdust.